So hi everyone, today we're gonna be talking about the Toyota case. Um, it's about the major crisis that Toyota faced back in the late 2009 and early 2010. However, before we start talking about the case, I will tell you a bit about Toyota. So, Toyota Motor Corporation is a Japanese multinational automotive manufacturer headquartered in Toyota City, Aichi, Japan, and it was founded in 1937 by Kiichiro Toyoda. Then it has grown to become the world's largest automobile manufacturer, and it produces around 10 million vehicles every year. And the company produces cars, trucks, and also luxury vehicles under four primary global brands, which are Toyota, Lexus, Daihatsu, and also Senri. Yeah, Senri. So now we're gonna be talking about the major crisis which happened to Toyota uh, for I think like around 2009 and 2010. So between late 2009 and early 2010, just like I said before, Toyota Motor Corporation faced a major global safety crisis. So the company was famous around the world for making reliable, high quality cars and also fuel efficient. Uh, However, Toyota was forced to recall over 8.5 million vehicles worldwide, including more than 6 million vehicles in the United States. So, and why is that so? So the recalls were caused by three main mechanical and electronical problems. And these problems were the first one is the floor mat entrapment. So the floor mat entrapment um, it's because the accelerator pedals got stuck under loose floor mats. Second one is the sticky accelerator pedal. So a mechanical flaw caused uh, gas pedals to stick or return slowly to its normal position. Then thirdly is the Prius brake software glitches. So software delays caused a temporary loss of braking feel when driving or over road routes. So just to inform you, Prius is one of the Toyota's car released in 1977, I think, yeah, around that. So this crisis hurt Toyota's global reputation, cost the company billions of dollars, lowered car sales, and forced Toyota's top leaders to apologize publicly. But other than talking about Toyota's major crisis, we're also going to be talking about the background about how Toyota's rise to success. So it's because the Toyota production system, or usually called TPS. So Toyota was founded in 1937 and built its reputation on strong manufacturing rules. The company created special production methods to ensure high quality and zero defects vehicles. And what are these rules? Well, the first one is called just in time. So the factory makes only what is needed when it is needed to avoid wasting materials and money. The second one called jidoka. So any factory worker has the power to stop the entire assembly uh, immediately if they spot a mistake, even if it was just a small mistake. Then the third one is kaizen. So the company focuses on continuous and step by step improvement every day. So they just did it slowly. Then the fourth and also the last one is the Genchi Genbutsu. So managers must go to the physical location of a problem to inspect it with their own eyes before making decisions, so they don't make um, any further mistakes. And now I will tell you about the Toyota's expansion in the United States, which made them really famous. So Toyota entered the United States market in the late 1950s, and during the 1970s oil crisis, American consumers bought many Toyota cars because they were fuel efficient, just like I told you before, and they were also reliable. Then in 1989, Toyota launched its luxury brand, which called Lexus, to compete with high-end European automakers. Then, uh, between 1995 and 2007, Toyota shifted its focus towards becoming the largest automaker in the world, and the company aimed to capture 15% of the global car market. And so, to achieve to become the largest automaker in the world, Toyota did major changes in their company strategy. And what are these strategies? Well, the first strategy is they shift to radical innovation. So, Toyota leaders felt that slow and step by step improvement was too slow, and they began pushing for rapid and radical changes. The second strategy is the aggressive cost cutting. So Toyota forced suppliers to lower the prices of car parts by up to 40%. And the company also standardized parts and using the exact same component across dozens of different car models. So even though they release new car models, they actually use the same component. So actually, um, there was nothing different between Toyota cars back then. Then thirdly, and third one is the shorter development times. Toyota shortened the time it took to design and produce new cars from 24 months to just 12 months. So designers relied heavily on computers models instead of testing physical models um, on real roads, just like they usually did. Then the fourth strategy, uh, they strengthened quality control. So Toyota expanded its what is it global factories so quickly that it struggled to train new international workers in traditional quality standards. So engineers relied on outside suppliers for design work, which reduced oversight. And by 2005, Toyota was already recalling millions of vehicles due to the growing quality issues. Then, how the recall crisis unfolded. So it was because the August 2009 fatal crash. So on August 28, 2009, an off-duty California Highway Patrol police officer and three family members were killed in Lexus ES 350 near San Diego. So it happened because the car suddenly accelerated out of control and it reached speeds over 100 miles per hour. Then a passenger saw it and called 911, and the audio recording revealed that the gas pedal was stuck and the brakes were not working. So the recording then was broadcasted on the news worldwide, creating panic among drivers who used Toyota at the time. Then uh, the, there were also the three recall categories. So the first recall is just like what I told you before, which is the floor mat entrapment. So the problem is their heavy, oversized rubber floor mats always move forward and it pinned the gas pedal to the floorboard. But Toyota gave a solution to this. So Toyota redesigned the pedal shapes, they trimmed the interior carpeting, and updated the car computer system. Then the second recall is the sticky accelerator pedals. So the problem is the internal wear inside the pedal assembly caused excessive friction and it made the gas pedal stick in place or return slowly. So it returned to slow after the driver lifted their foot. But Toyota also gave a solution to this. So the engineers inserted what is it, small steel reinforcement plates into the pedal mechanism to reduce friction. Then the third one is the previous brake software glitches. So it basically just the same problem like I told you before, but this time I give the Toyota solution to you. So the problem is the drivers in third generation Prius models always felt temporary delay in braking when driving over bumps, potholes, or slippery and rough roads. And what is the solution? So Toyota updated the anti-lock brake um, software across affected vehicles. However, even though Toyota already gave solution to this malfunction in their vehicles, still Toyota's internal structure and corporate culture slowed down its ability to handle the crisis effectively. And what are these structure and corporate culture which slowed down its ability to handle crisis effectively? So the first one is there are lots of mistakes in corporate responses and communication. So, regional managers in North America did not have uh, the power, the power to issue safety recalls on their own. So they had to wait approval from corporate headquarters in Japan, which takes so much time. And the Japanese corporate culture also relied on achieving full consensus across multiple tiers of leadership before making public statement. So this process was too slow for the fast-moving American news cycle. And Toyota initially blamed drivers for improper floor mat placement in their car, which angered customers and government regulators because it was actually their fault. Then, engineers in Japan insisted on shipping failed parts back to laboratory settings for months of testing instead of responding immediately to driver safety reports. Then, when public anger escalated, Toyota finally took aggressive action to fix its corporate image and regain consumer trust. And they did it by doing public apologies. So, the company president, Akio Toyoda, pub- publicly published apology letters in major newspapers and issued public statements to consumers. Then Akio traveled to Washington, D.C. to testify before the United States Congress, and he also admitted that the company grew too fast and they lost sight of their core priorities. And Toyota briefly stopped selling eight popular cars models in North America and temporarily closed five assembly plants to focus entirely on their vehicle repairs. Toyota also gave regional, Toyota also gave a regional officer outside Japan direct authority to declare safety recalls without waiting for the headquarter approval, so it can be faster. Then the company also made electronic brake override system standard on all new vehicles worldwide, ensuring that that pressing the brake pedal would instantly cancel engine acceleration. However, still, the direct repair expenses, lost vehicle sales, legal settlements, and government fines cost Toyota over 5 million US dollar. And the United States regulatory agencies also fined Toyota hundreds of millions of dollars for delaying safety recall reports. Then Toyota's United States monthly sales also dropped by nearly 16% in early 2010, which allowed company automakers like Ford and General Motors to gain market share. And used Toyota vehicle values also dropped uh, across the dealership lots, and consumer trust metrics it fell significantly. So, from this case, I do think that there are lots of things we can learn from this case, yeah. And I will tell you some of them. So, the first one is um, you should never compromise quality for growth because pushing for a rapid global market share without maintaining quality controls like Toyota can ruin a company's brand reputation. Second one is the standardization creates shared risk. So using the same standard parts across dozens of vehicles, even with different models, saves your money, yes. But a single defective part can cost millions of recalls, and it also costs other people's safety. And the third one, and also the last one, is speed matters in crisis response because modern businesses must empower local or regional leaders to make quick decisions during public safety emergencies without waiting for too long.